I got my first job as a waiter accidentally, really. Um, I was in college with a guy, and I asked him, "What are you doing?" He seemed to be going someplace after college. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to work in a restaurant." I'm like, "Oh, interesting." And he's like, "Why don't you come too? You should come, get a job there." I thought, "Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that sounds interesting." So, um, he went on to work. And next time I saw him in college, he said, "Come along at any time." They said they'll talk to you, maybe give you a job as a waiter. So I did, and it was very easy. And I got a job as a waiter. And I showed up for my first shift one evening, quiet evening, I would guess, maybe like a Tuesday or something. Maybe not, because actually it was quite busy. So my first table was a big table, maybe 10 or 12 people, party kind of thing. And I had been hovering around all night, and I hadn't brought anything to the table. I'd taken away glasses, taken away plates and things like that. My first shift, remember? And then at the end of the evening, one of the guys ordered an espresso from me as I passed him. I said, "Sure." So I went over to the coffee machine, and there was another waiter, and I said, "This guy needs an espresso." So he said, "Okay, look, here, this is how you're going to make an espresso." So he showed me how to load up the coffee, lock it in the machine, get the espresso flowing. The little espresso cup kept warm on top of the machine. Like, this is very, very good restaurant. And he said, "There you go, take it over." Little teaspoon on it. It's like, whoa, I don't want to take things over, man. I never took things over before. So you'd be good, just take it over. Just put it down in front of it. So I must have wobbled across with that espresso. My eyes must have been focused on that espresso. And I know now that's the absolute wrong thing to do. Don't look at what's in your hand. Just focus on where you're going and hold it steady. So by the time I got to the table to put it down in front of the guy, it went down shakily. And what happened? What do you think happened? Did it spill? Did the cup fall over? Yes, of course it did. Did it fall over all over him? Off the table, onto his trousers, and burn him? Yes, of course it did. It was fucking wonderful. Oh. So, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." And more waiters arrived on scene immediately, like an emergency response unit. And they had towels, and they were attending to the guy, and I was just embarrassed, fading out into the background while they looked after the scene. The restaurant was busy, I think. Yeah, it was busy now, I remember. And there was certainly the big party in, like, you know. So that was my first time working in that restaurant as a waiter, any restaurant as a waiter. So I stayed, they kept me. They said, "Don't worry about it." And so right, don't worry about it. Get over it, move on, don't do it again. You learned something, yeah? I learned, just don't look at what you're carrying. Seriously, just get a good hold on it and off you go. Then I would have worked quiet nights at the beginning as well. And there was a waiter, he was from, I'm going to say, a Mediterranean country, and he was an old guy. He was in his 60s. I'm pretty sure he was in his 60s, and he was a career waiter. This is what he does. This is his life. He's a waiter. He's always been a waiter. That's what he does. So he kind of took me under his wing a little bit, and I sought advice from him because I recognized that this guy had a lot of experience. So I asked him, "What can I do better? Where am I making mistakes?" And he said, "You're doing okay, except for one thing." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Walk over there to the far side of the restaurant like you're going to a customer." So I did. I just walked over across the restaurant and I walked back again. And he said, "You see the problem?" And I said, "Maybe." And he said, "You're making too much noise." And then I got it. And he was so right. I wasn't paying any attention to my feet. They've always been there, haven't they? Always doing what they do, right? But in this context, and in the situation of being a waiter, you need to pay attention to your feet and not be clunk, 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 which I pretty much was. Clunk, clunk, clunk. So from that day until this day, and forevermore, I pay attention to my feet as I walk. And I try not to make big noise, clunk, 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 because it's totally unnecessary, right? Yeah, it's unnecessary. And it's cooler if you don't clunk, clunk, clunk. You've just got grace. There's a word, right? That's the word you need. If you want to be a waiter, you need grace. You'll meet all kinds of people as a waiter. You really do. From the poorest of the poor as customers to superstars as customers. I one day had a very well-known Irish singer as a customer one afternoon at about 3 or 4 o'clock, and there was nobody in the restaurant. It was between lunch and dinner, and we remained open. And she sat by the window, and I don't think she ate anything. I think she just had coffee. And I met my wife working in this restaurant, and my wife was on this same shift with me when this person came in the afternoon, discreetly. My wife still has the signed credit card receipt from the transaction of that table that day, so as a proof that it happened. And she was just a normal person. I knew who she was. She's famous, but I just treated her like a normal person. No going Gaga like some might. Just absolutely as a normal person. I think she liked that because she stayed for a couple of hours just sitting at the table, I think drinking coffee. Maybe she had some dessert too. I don't recall that. I suppose the amount on the credit, well, that was a long time ago. Who the hell knows what cost what? What's the difference between a triple chocolate pudding and a crostini in price terms? Like, aren't maybe the same? How do I know what the hell? It's impossible to tell. Anyway, she was nice. She didn't smell like the local ladies, particularly. All the local ladies were very well perfumed and manicured. This kind soul was not like that. She was more, you would say, raw. I would say I'm raw too. I don't look in mirrors even. Like, you know, I don't care particularly what I look like. I wear the same thing every day. Until my wife tells me, "You gotta wash that." And so then I change it and wash it and I put it back on again. So yeah, that was a lovely day when she came in for coffee. My wife always said that I should have sought her out, that I'm her kind of person, and I agree, I should have sought her out, and I did think to. I knew where she lived, and I could have. I came close maybe, but really, I didn't. Maybe I should have. Probably should have. Probably could have. She could have come and sit here with me in my garden, like, you know. I could have talked through stuff with her. That's what I like to do. I think through stuff and I talk through stuff. So that never happened. But in any event, she died tragically a few years ago. Quite suddenly, nobody was expecting it. I didn't even tell you who this person is, did I? No, I did not. Okay. of her lyrically best songs is called Famine, and she'll tell you that there was no famine. That's for another time, in another video. So that lady, if you haven't guessed by now, was Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, good old Sinead. Yeah, what great music she made, right? What's your favourite Sinead O'Connor song? Have a great day. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You ain't gonna regret it.